You're listening to the Full-Time Function Musician Podcast, the #1 resource for growing your function musician business. If you're a solo wedding singer, part of a 12-piece luxury show band, or anything in between, and want to learn from other successful musicians, you're in the right place.
Let's move on to the next question, which comes from someone called Buscarella. And they asked, it feels like the market is super saturated with singers at the minute. Yeah, it is.
Yes,
so I feel like that is more a question of how do you stand out? How do you differentiate? What's you need to create a USP, and so yeah, it's always going to be saturated. That's just the way it is. So yeah, the question really is how do you stand out in a saturated market?
Yeah, my personal opinion is that you should listen to a really helpful podcast on branding. But yeah, I mean, people like to invest in you as a person. So it's how you sound, how you look, and what your values are. And that's the whole thing that makes people invest in you as a product. So yeah, first things first, present yourself well. And that applies to your social media as well. Mm-hmm. Like, dress well. You know, do your hair, do your makeup.
Or always wear a hat like I do.
Well, mate, your brand works. Like, it's great. I thought about what I was wearing today. I had a shower before I arrived, even though it's a podcast. And then when your sound, I'd say that's put it down to your niche as to the kind of, make sure that you sound good, obviously, but whittle down your artists that you like. That's what I do. I mean, I play indie folk, which is quite a niche next to what people want to hear sometimes. Mm-hmm. It's like the amount of times that people want to hear Brightside and stuff like that. I'm not really great at that stuff. I can do it if I have enough stress or motivation to do so with tequila or whatever. But yeah, whittle down to your niche and be good at your niche. And then people who see you perform will enjoy. They'll invest in you as a person. They don't want anyone else.
Yeah.
In order for you to stand out, make sure that you stand out by being you.
Yeah, that's important. Because if you're pretending to be someone else, then it just doesn't come across as genuine, right? And
yeah, exactly. And in fact, there's kind of a few copycats that end up copying sort of various acts around the area.
Yeah.
And no, I'd always encourage people to try and be themselves and to connote themselves as they are. Whether you're like the rustic artists that wears, kind of plaid shirts and hats and like has a bit of facial hair, or whether you're like a really clean cut sort of Sinatra vibe where you wear a suit and a bow tie. Mm-hmm. And there's a guy that I follow called Liam Joseph Sings. And he's kind of like, I've never met him. He seems like a lovely guy. I was going to book him for some place once, but it sort of fell through. So I never actually met him. But his Instagram is outstanding. He's got a great voice, and he always rocks up in a suit, and a bow tie.
Is that that's part of his brand then?
Yeah, right? And it works. And he's got a logo which is just his signature, but it's kind of done sort of in a calligraphy way, which is really cool. And it just immediately shows like, boom, this is what you're going to get. It's sort of black luxury, like black gold writing on black background, luxury kind of vibe. And he's got like the kind of saunter, and like people want that vibe next to maybe me, who's a bit more of a rustic indie folk vibe with a stomp box that can kind of do dancey folky beats. You just need to connote who you are and do it well. And if you're a singer, I mean, fundamentally sex sells, so make sure that you look sexy in your photos.
I think the important thing here is you got to find your niche.
Yeah.